Hey everyone. So I just got this from Dark and Lovely. Thank you so much. Ah, wow. These Dusties. We know in the community, in the black community, heaven forbid we ask, the Dusties, the Dust Mites to um, be held accountable because, hey, they're not held accountable no matter what they do. They can get 5 women pregnant in 1 year, and it's like, well, those girls, they allowed it. No matter what they do, the mammies keep holding on, keep protecting them. Ladies, I don't care from 20 to whatever your age is. If you give a darn about the race, you don't have yourself together, in my opinion, the last thing we need for you to do is give birth to a Dusty Jr. Honestly and truly, just consider you want a man out there in those streets, game banger and all that. Then, of course, you put the child here with it, even if he's not a game banger, just some derelict that ain't about Jack. I don't know who didn't get the memo. Dusty Sr. brings Dusty Jr. Every now and then there's a chance, there's a change. But do us a favor. If your man ain't about nothing and you aren't yourself, you don't aspire to be anything, maybe keep your seed with you 24/7, because we don't want you to unleash it on society and then they go into attack mode. Always a killing and a shooting. But then you're safe. Then you want to get on TV and, oh, he ain't done nothing. Maybe that's the problem. He wasn't doing nothing positive. Seriously, I'm to the point now when you find some of them that's been got by the cops, we need to check you out before we start hollering about a settlement, because some of them don't deserve it. I'm sorry. If you have a person that's in the community just shooting and killing your own people, any person for that reason, just out in society, shooting other human beings, you're just as dangerous because you put that person here and you raised it to do this. You called it. Now there was one parent I saw, and she told the truth about her son, which very rarely women do. People do. She said, "I raised my son to know right from wrong." But guess what? He chose wrong. Tried to talk to him, tried to raise him. He made that choice. That's a real grown woman, a respectable woman, because you know what? She told the darn truth. But don't sit up here. He got a rap sheet of robberies and all this other crap. And I did the best I could. No, you didn't. Because a lot of times you got to be real. You didn't do the best you could. You had this child by a demonic man, and you kept on having children by them. You worked. Who was raising them? You can't. You're not cloning yourself. So who's raising them? More than likely the streets. So if you do that with one child, why do we keep on doing this over and over and over again? And then they grow up, get out of your house, you glance them out of your hair, and they unleash it on everybody else. So here's a crime scene. The fallen officer that was killed in Chicago. Check out this news clip. So this is who was murdered. This officer here. I want you to see what she was doing. She's trying to help the community. She saved the life of a 1-year-old who was shot. And look how the community pays her back. Fair use.
Police officers are holding a vigil tonight outside the University of Chicago Hospital for the officer wounded.
And we're also learning more about the huge impact Officer Ella French had on the Englewood community. WGN's Mike Lowe is live at the hospital with more on that. Mike?
Micah and Ray, the evening of July 1st was a chaotic one in the city of Chicago. Earlier that afternoon, a 9-year-old girl had been shot in the head, and the WGN crew was at Comer Children's Hospital when we got word of another outrageous shooting. This time, a 1-month-old baby had been wounded in a shooting. And as that baby arrived at the hospital, we noticed a young female Chicago police officer who was there helping to save that baby's life. Today, we learned that officer was Ella French. The night of July 1st was memorable for all the wrong reasons. There was a mass shooting in Inglewood near 66th and Halstead on a day that had already seen a child shot on the south side. This one left a bullet-riddled vehicle and a 1-month-old, Terriana Smith, in critical condition. Today, as Terriana is recovering, there is a poignant postscript to the story.
She never had a chance to think.
We learned that it was Officer Ella French who played a key role in saving the child's life, rushing the baby to the hospital. Charles McKenzie is the baby's uncle.
So she was like, hey, everything's going to be okay. I got you. We're here together. I'm not going to leave you guys. So it made her feel good. And it made her calm down, too.
The Chicago Police Department confirms that French was the officer who drove the baby to receive life-saving treatment. A WGN camera captured French with the ambulance at Comer Children's Hospital, then escorting Terriana Smith on a gurney to the emergency room. On Saturday night, French was killed in an ambush attack in Inglewood, the same neighborhood where she was working to save lives. Community activist Andrew Holmes was there at the hospital on July 1st when Officer French helped save that baby's life, and he remembers speaking with her. Now, he's speaking up for her.
You're looking at our leaders now, they're pointing their fingers at each other, but these people out here pointing guns at each other, and they letting loose, and they shooting people. While they sitting there pointing their fingers, the people out here pointing guns. And it's real, whether you live or die.
And in a prayer vigil that just wrapped up here across the street from the University of Chicago Hospital, Officer French was remembered as someone who embodied the ideals of the police department of protecting and serving, and someone who really did engage in the spirit of community policing, speaking with and really trying to help the residents of Inglewood. We also got an update from a close family friend about Officer French's partner, who is still in surgery tonight.
So this is what we do. Well, this is what the Dusties do. The same community she's trying to help. And I wonder who shot the bullet to the child. You probably know it was some Dusty, more than likely in the area. I mean, in Chicago. I'm willing to bet that's probably who it was. Here she is trying to save the life of a child, helping, comforting the parent. And what happens? A Dusty murders the officer. Define who? At this point, we need to fund some birth control. And I said this to someone I know who was kind of incensed. They were offended. And I said to her, I said, listen, I do not know, and everybody's, not to be offensive, but I'm just going to just say what I want to say. I said, who would live in a place like Chicago? The men don't have anything to offer you, but maybe street hustling. And I'm really starting to think that just in general, a lot of times with these crimes, these guys commit these crimes in these vehicles. I'm really starting to think, and it just has to be that these girls may have some kind of job. They know what the guy's doing, and they breaking them off something. Someone said in the comment section, they're like, hey, with regard to these mammies, hey, Big Mama, Big Mama, everybody knows that if they steal a car or do whatever, they're breaking her off a little something. So they're just as dangerous. But I said to her, who in Chicago, because of the circumstance that she and I were discussing, why in the heck, if you're in Chicago and you're in the PJs, you're in the projects, why would you get yourself pregnant by a man that's just as broke as you? And you're going to have to raise your child what? Lesson day one, learn to dodge a bullet. You can't sit in your room, read a book, watch TV. You can't ride in the back of your car with your mother. You might get shot any moment now. So I told her, I know the person she's speaking of, but you should be on Operation Get the Hell Up Out of There. You're already in poverty, and then you do the same old thing. Look around you. Every woman there is become a baby mama by some derelict, broke, dusty man. A few are able to do something with their lives. So you can't latch onto a person that's positive and try to go together. Why would you pick some street hustler because he's so cute? Why would you pick some street hustler? Or you like his swag? Why would you pick that kind of person? And then you get pregnant by, and then you want somebody to have sympathy. At this point, you're a grown behind woman. Just like the one that had done well for herself. She moved out of state, got her degree. Why you go back to Chicago, girl, to work? You want to help the community? Yeah, she went back there and got herself killed. You escaped, got your degree. You're going to go back to the hood. Maybe she, and I think, personally, I think she went back to the hood, for a man. That was just my opinion. Didn't last long. Didn't even last 6 months. Walking down the street, shot by a stray bullet. Decisions. This is right here is very hard to help the community. When they asked Oprah Winfrey for some money for Chicago, and she made a comment, she said it's too far gone. Not the biggest Oprah fan, used to be, but I have my opinion on that different video. She said, but I agree, it's too far gone. I agree. So the officer in the community helping the child, keep the family calm down, actually giving a darn, because we kill each other so much, most of them just don't. They're immune to it. That's what they do in the hood. That's what they do. They just kill each other out. But here she is giving a darn, and look what happens. And then you got the idiot mother coming through the air like some wild orangutan, hollering about her son, just hood and ignorant. I just cannot. Anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And you guys just stay safe, and I hope you enjoy your weekend. A lot going on. I'm getting caught up on the videos, and now somebody else has hit me up, about trying to get something going for Black women. And I'm like, wow, that's a major undertaking. So now I'm having to try to research things, because I'm like, hey, I want to get as much information as possible before I start throwing stuff out there. So now I'm getting some other information coming my way, trying to help women. We have to help ourselves. I'm not going to lie, somebody helped me. I will say karma is real. I've helped a lot of people in my family. Now, they didn't help me, but then I looked up, people that I came to know, those people that helped me. Somebody just helped me. They gave me this bag, which, I'm not a fan of it. And she's like, oh, yeah, just here you go. Just handed me a new Prada bag. I'm like, oh, that's nice. It's a nice, cute bag. Kind of a handbag queen. But yeah, so it's like little things like that. I was like, wow, that is so nice. I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, so, getting a lot of suggestions here, what women can do. I'm like, wow, more than what I thought. Somebody called me this morning, thanks to your boy in the video. I was like, wow. So anyway, women, stay safe. And listen, we have better things to occupy our time with instead of a non-performing, non-protective, non-providing man. Okay? Start writing down that business idea. Start writing them down. I'm thinking, hey, the direction I want to take, besides, if a person has a business idea, maybe it might be easier to try to raise some money and maybe try to help them with a check. I've been hearing things about, get LLC, what it's going to cost, a whole lot of things going on. So, but this here, life is short. We have to use our time wisely. Our space. We have been through so much as women. Our space is, we have to be protective. Can't let just anybody in. So, coming soon to Patreon is going to be the video. It's time to collect the keys. We're going to go into detail. We already know the reasons why, but I want to expand on that. So again, thanks for watching, listening. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Everybody, please stay safe. Love you guys. I'm out.